What I dealt with was the matter of image in motion pictures in the small sense, and image of the nation, the United States, in the larger sense, more importantly even than most of us realize. The motion picture maker, whether he likes it or not, is thrust very much into the political arena these days. All of us seek for truth. Creative people certainly seek for truth, and I think that every well-meaning government official who goes to bed at night with the dream of peace, the way out, seeks truth. And I would say that there is no way to come closest to the truth than by an open, free, total distribution of that which we do as creators and that which mirrors what we are and what we aspire to be, rather than only that side of us which we intrude upon people anyhow. We must be true, in my opinion, to our legacy, which is to examine, criticize, break down, reestablish, and therefore progress.
He always said, I just want to entertain and say something, but he never really believed that he made a message film. But I believe he did.
He was into lifting up rocks and exposing the ills of our society. I mean, he was a serious filmmaker, but he had a great sense of humor as a man, and I think he brought that to all of his productions.
The films that he produced and directed, just and always his own man, never let the studios control his films, did them his way. He's just one of the people I really admire.
Mike Flaherty was an operator, you know, and I think I loved his facility with people and his confidence and his sense that he had a very clear sense of what was right. And it might not have skewed with what other people thought was right, but he looked at what was expedient and toward an end that he thought was good.
The cool thing about real politics is when we did our research, you have to engage in some sketchy behavior and some immoral behavior, and Mike as a performer has the ability to do immoral things and still have you as an audience like him.
You said there'd be a show of support for him.
Yes, a show of support. Not actual support.
It's Alex Keaton with power, you know, so I think we were able to get both of those things.
I know Gary had some issues with, I would call, you know, Mike a weasel or something. And he totally read that wrong and thought that I was demeaning the character, putting the character down, or saying that in some pejorative sense. But I wasn't at all. I think that he was just, he was a good guy and always was a good guy, and his means were crafty and kind of deceptive, manipulative, but they fit the form.
This is politics, James. I receive. I sense the mood of the public. I respond. I shape it. I don't have time to feel.
It happens so fast. TV doesn't happen this way. We pitched him the idea, and then we went on a whirlwind tour around the East Coast, literally writing the pilot and faxing the pages to Mike.
They wrote the script in like 4 days for Spin City, and they sent it to me over the fax machine. It was actually back in the day when the fax machine was this constant roll that came out. This thing is reaming out in my fax machine, my apartment in New York, and I'm reading it and kind of cutting it. Tracy's cutting the page, and I'm handing her the page I just read, and I was laughing, and I just thought it was fantastic. And I just loved Bill, and I loved Gary's energy for it, and I loved the idea. And I loved the script, and so we just said, let's do it.
This was the script that pilot season. You know, certain pilots there's great word of mouth, there's buzz on them, everything like that. But this was so good because it was getting on the air.
Hal Roach's life was more colorful than anything he ever depicted in any of his films. His grandfather had a plantation before the Civil War. After the Civil War was over, Hal Roach's father relocated to Elmira, New York, and that's where Hal Roach was born in 1892. At the outset and throughout the series, what gave Hal Roach the most satisfaction was finding the right kids.
He conducted a survey. He surveyed theater operators, and some of them, it was typical of surveys, he got a 50-50 split. Half of them said, no, you can't get rid of these kids. The audience loves these kids and know these kids. You can't get rid of them. The other half said, yeah, this is a series about kids. You're going to have to roll it over. You're going to have to rotate it through the years. That's what Roach decided to do, as cruel as it seemed in some cases, because it meant that a kid was washed up and retired by the age of 10 or 11. And in the case of a lot of these kids, they didn't get any more acting jobs after that. Most of them left show business after they left our gang.
When I came into the gang, there was Jackie Condon and J.R. Smith, but they left very quickly because they were on the way out. There was Joe Cobb, Farina, they were the standbys, and then another freckle-faced kid came in, that was Harry Spear, and then Weezer came in, and in the midst of that, Pete, the dog with the ring around his eye.
People ask me often, was the ring around the dog's eye real? And of course, with a straight face, I say, of course it was real. It was real shoe polish.
In a lot of ways, the Flintstones was a million years ahead of its time.
We could see ourselves through that show.
The Flintstones were really hip.
Of course, the humor will always hold up.
Primitive behavior never goes out of style.
When you're with the Flintstones, have a yabba dabba do time, a dabba do time, we'll have a gay old time.
The Flintstones have lasted for a lot of different reasons.
It was truly a very warm show.
I always felt that one of the enduring qualities of the Flintstones was Fred himself.
La 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 la. Oh, you are in good voice this morning, sir.
A lead character who was lovable and likable enough that you cared about what happened to him.
You're jealous, thoughtless, loudmouthed, overbearing, and possessive. You forgot quick-tempered.
When I first read the script for Tsunami and got together with Rob Gillies and looked at the designs, the drawings, my heart actually sank. I went, oh my God, he has me in a shoebox, and it has 5 sides. It had a roof and a floor and 3 walls and 1 open side to shoot in. No windows, no practical lights, because when the ship's overturned all the lights go out. And I thought, man, I am screwed here. What am I going to do?